Hey guys, I am currently in Washington, D.C. I'm on reserve this month. No, it hasn't been so bad so far. So my actual first day of reserve was the day that I got back from Dublin. So I got back from Dublin, and then I had, since the Dublin flight's about, I think it's about 7.5 hours, we are obligated to have 14.5 hours of rest after that before we can be assigned again. So I got home from Dublin about 11 o'clock, I think it was. And then, so that had me off for the rest of the day. And then I called the tape that afternoon to see what my next day's assignment was, and they gave me a 2-day, which I was only good for 2 days, so. And it was JFK to Miami and Miami to DC, and we got into DC about 11 or 12 o'clock last night. And then today, all we have to do is deadhead back to JFK, which means ride as passengers. So that's kind of cool. But, so we're going back to JFK and at about 5 o'clock, and then I will be off for the next 2 days. After that, I am going to training in Dallas. This is not my recurrent training. This is actually a special customer service training. So I'll have 2 days off and then flying to Dallas, and then we'll be in training in Dallas for 2 days and then be back on reserve. So this is a crazy reserve month already, and lots of weather issues and lots of reassignments and crazy stuff. Has people, sequences falling apart, people getting stuck in places for 3 and 4 days. It's been bananas already. So we'll see how I fare through this month of reserve, but so far so good. All right guys, let's try this again. I got called yesterday on reserve for a 3-day, and I'm the #1 position. And I have not been the lead flight attendant since that last time where I wasn't the greatest. So we're gonna try it again. Hopefully I'll do better. Let's see how it goes. Yummy. I can get behind a hotel that offers a happy hour with sandwiches and veggies. So I am in Austin, Texas. Today we flew from New York to Dallas and then Dallas to Austin. So I got this assignment yesterday, and as you know, I was the lead flight attendant again, and I have not been the lead flight attendant since that little Chicago turn I did at the beginning of May. And that was the only time I did it, and it was on the 737. Well, this was on an Airbus, and I'm not super familiar with that, especially the galley. I love the Airbus as a passenger, as a flight attendant. It's just, it's literally like every single bin, compartment, shelf, everything in it is like this much off. It's like, it's weird, it's bizarre, like nothing quite fits right. It's just, it's so frustrating. Like you can't get doors to open and you can't get bins to pull out. It's just, it's a nightmare to work in, it really is. So, guys, do you know my luck? Do you know my luck? So as soon as I get to the gate, first I find out that there are at least 14 to 15 deadheaders on my flight, which are flight attendants flying to work. Like I already felt like, you know, a little nervous, and then it's tough when you find out you have basically a plane full of flight attendants who are gonna know exactly what the procedure is, and if you mess up, they're gonna look up and they're gonna be like, what are you doing? Why did you do that? That's not the time to do that. So I was already a little bit nervous. But then I get to the gate, and the gate agent says his name to me. He says, Mr. So-and-so's on this flight, and the name did not register to me. And he kind of leaned over and told me, and so I heard something like, I thought I heard like vice president or something like that, and I was like, huh? And I thought I heard flight service, and I was like, oh, the vice president of flight service, that's a big deal. And then the gentleman in question eventually got on the plane as we were boarding, and he introduced himself, and he's the nicest guy in the world. He introduced himself by his first name, not Mr. So-and-so, but hey, you know, here's my first name. And he was an absolute pleasure to have on the flight. But he is the president of my company, of my airline. Not the vice president of a department. He's the president of my airline. And he was literally in the first row, first seat, looking me dead in the eye while I was on the jump seat. As if I wasn't nervous enough. That is my luck. I have been the flight attendant, the lead flight attendant, one time. It was to Chicago and back. And the next time I get it, it's on an unfamiliar aircraft with 15 deadheaders and the president of my airline in my direct view. Needless to say, I was a little nervous. However, for the most part, the flight went very well. Once again, I had a great number 3 that was really helpful and kind of saved my butt. When I didn't do something that I was supposed to do, she caught it and she came running up and, hey, wait, you gotta do this first. So she was a gem. Her name is Brianna, and she's super, super kind to me. And the rest of my crew is really awesome too. They're a lot of fun. So we had the 3-hour, 15-minute flight from New York to Dallas, and then that was the flight that was nerve-wracking. And then we had a little 45-minute flight from Dallas to Austin, which went much easier. It wasn't a full meal, it was just a snack basket, but that's how my first day went as lead flight attendant again. This is a 3-day trip. Tomorrow we fly Austin to Los Angeles, which I've never been to the Los Angeles airport before. And then we fly Los Angeles back to Austin again. So I'll be in Austin 2 nights in a row. It's a double Austin layover. Tonight we are staying at the short layover hotel, which doesn't have a lot around it. I think I saw Denny's maybe. Maybe I'll go get some hash browns at 2 in the morning. You never know with me. But it does have an awesome happy hour with veggies. So our pickup tomorrow is at 5 a.m. and then we do those 2 flights, and then we come back to Austin, but we go to the long layover hotel. And maybe if I'm not exhausted, I'll get out and explore, but we'll see how that goes. For right now, I am about to Netflix and chill with my big bad self. That's what I'm about to do. Austin, day 2. Yeah, I am exhausted. I am beyond exhausted. Exhausted was a long time ago. Look at our cute little hotel room. There's a mini fridge. Everything's very leather, very cow, very antler, very Texas. Very, very Texas. Which I guess is what the people like. It is so hot here. It is like, I'm not even joking with you guys. I don't even know how to get the shade up. Here we go. But it is literally like 101 degrees or something like that. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take... What is this about? This is gonna take all freaking day. Just to show you guys the view. Because I'm immediately gonna close it because it's too freaking hot. Oh. Great. I come to my room to relax, not to like have to work out. So, P.F. Chang's. Bam! That's where we're staying at. It's pretty close to downtown. There's San I don't know how to say that, so I'm not gonna say it because there's a piranha seafood sushi place. Oh my God, guys, I'm just too tired. I'm too tired. I just got to go to bed. So I want to show you guys this. When we get to, I look like crap. When we get to a hotel, they give us our room key and they generally write our van time on it or the time we have to be picked up. Check it. 3:40 a.m. We have to be downstairs and ready at 3:40 a.m. Child, please. So right now it is 2:15 p.m. So about 13 hours from now. This morning, ooh, this is very silky. It's very silky. Ooh. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to hold on. This morning our pickup was at, I don't know, what time was it? At 5 o'clock, I think. So as the number one or the lead flight attendant, I am the lead flight attendant on this entire sequence. Today we went from Austin to LA and from LA back to Austin. So it was total about 6 hours on the plane. But as the number one flight attendant, you're responsible for making sure that everyone gets on the bus into the airport in time. So this morning was the first time ever flying where a crew member didn't show up for the shuttle when they were supposed to. And why would the first time that's ever happened since I've been a flight attendant, it be when I'm responsible for that person? Like, how is that my luck? How is that my luck? So I asked the hotel to buzz the flight attendant's room, and he spoke to the flight attendant, and the flight attendant said, I'll be down in 2 minutes. Well, about 8 minutes later, we get another call that says, I'm gonna take an Uber, I just woke up. So the flight attendant did make it on time to the airport, yeah, we did unfortunately have to leave her, or she told us to leave her, to go ahead, and that she would meet up with us, because normally, I mean, there's not even we're not gonna be able to fly without her, without part of our crew. So, you know, normally there's not even any point in leaving. But she told us to go ahead so we could get coffee or, you know, food or whatever at the airport. And she'd meet us up there. So that's what we did. But she did make it, so everything was fine. She was just running a little bit late. She had overslept. I don't think, you know, the hotel, they didn't call me. We're staying at a different hotel now than we did last night. But the hotel didn't give me my wake-up call, and so I'm assuming they didn't give her hers either, and she probably relied on it, whereas I had backup set in my phone. So that's that. The downside of this is that you get to go to these amazing places, and you get to stay in these really cool hotels that are in really interesting locations, and you're too exhausted to go and do anything. Like, we got up at 5 this morning, or not got up, we left the hotel at 5 this morning. My alarm started going off at 4. It's now 2, I'm pretty exhausted, and I have to be up at 3 in the morning, or be downstairs at 3:40 in the morning. So the last thing I want to do right now is go out and like enjoy what's out there, and that's a bummer. That's what they don't tell you. They, you know, you like, I don't know. You know those people who say you can sleep when you're dead. It's like, okay, but no, no, I want to sleep now. Can I sleep now? Because I'm tired. So I wish I could go out and enjoy it, guys, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. It's 100 degrees. I have to be dressed and ready to go in 12 hours. It's not gonna happen, I don't think, but maybe I'll be able to come back one day. I don't know, we'll see. It's the life of a flight attendant. Good morning. It is 6:10 a.m. and we have already finished one flight. And now the 3-day is hopefully about to come to an end, and I am headed back to New York. One more flight to go. Getting better at the #1 position, not great, still making mistakes, but that's the name of the game. So 3:40 comes super duper early. We were like zombies. It was ridiculous. We looked like Night of the Living Dead. But anyway, headed back to New York. So the trip wasn't all that bad. It was so early. I hate early days. Not only are they early, but then I got back at 11:45. So that meant at 11:45 tonight, I am back on the clock. They can call me at any time. So that's not fun. I'm pretty tired after my 3 a.m. wake up call. And I called the tape at 5. And they already have a trip for me tomorrow. And it's a Chicago turn. I don't know why they keep sending me to Chicago. This is the 3rd time they're sending me to Chicago. So it's about 7:30 at night now. And I just left the apartment. I live right over there, guys. And my sign-in tomorrow is at 6 a.m. So I gotta get back and get some sleep at some point, if I can. But before I do that, I've decided to get out of the house, since I did not leave the hotel rooms this weekend, because I was too tired. That's the problem. You get too tired to do anything. So I'm forcing myself. And the trip went well, though. Being #1 is getting easier and easier. I had six trips or 6 legs of being #1. So it wasn't so bad. I made some mistakes, but I always do. However, look at this. Less than a block from my house, and we have